I'm gonna exit out of YouTube and then back in. It should. Okay, it should pop up now. Hopefully people's join. Okay, thank you. Alright, if you're on TikTok, I'm so sorry. On my YouTube, it just froze. Even though on my phone it was recording. So hey Nicole, hopefully this one, I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. So hopefully this one stays. Thanks, Kim. Yeah, I was hoping it would go back into the loop. Yeah, Charlene, thank you. I'm so glad you guys are seeing this. I don't know why. I'm wondering if maybe if I got a call or something that because I use my phone to stream, so I'm wondering if maybe a call kind of knocked it. You can hear me? Oh, Arnett, okay. Yeah, and Jason said right as I like ended the last one, he could all of a sudden hear me. So I don't know, but sorry about that. Hopefully this one is good. Yeah, Nick, I mean, honestly, knock on wood, for the most part, I don't really have too much trouble. This has happened, I think, maybe the second time that it's done that to me. Any other time that I've had trouble, it's been like user error. Like I didn't realize that my phone battery was too low, or when you set up YouTube, like before you go live, you have to click whether you're streaming horizontally or vertical, and I've accidentally put it as vertical and then you can't change it. So I've had like little things like that, but for the most part it's pretty good. So I'm not sure. It could. Usually I put my phone in like do not disturb mode, which I had forgotten to do. So it's possible that like maybe I received a call or something that kind of knocked it out and then didn't bring it back. I'm so glad that you guys let me know though. It's funny, I haven't done a live in a while, so I've already had to seam rip my first thing. That froze, so hopefully no more errors now for the rest of the night. Yeah, it's super annoying. Kim, are you participating in the marathon on Saturday? Alright, so now I have my second bunny ear. This is the first one that I've turned out. So now I am going to turn this one. So on usually one weekend a month, there's a bunch of sewing YouTubers that we film a video for hour-long segments, and we premiere our videos. So we're not sewing live, but the chats are live. So this coming Saturday, it is for a Kiteco Creates pattern. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head right now. And my time slot is usually 1 or 2 o'clock Eastern. I also have to double check that. I will definitely post it on my social media though. So it'll be a video tutorial for the Kiteco Create pattern, and then we'll be live in the chat. Oh, a running marathon? Oh my gosh. Running and I are not friends. I would make it like a quarter of a mile and be done. It's funny. I was just telling Jason, like, I really do want to go back to the gym. I used to go to the gym all the time and like fell off before, probably honestly before COVID. Um, but the hardest part is getting there. But once I'm there, I enjoy it. So I really want to go back to it. So we'll see. I'll keep you updated on that. Oh yeah, Kim. I can't imagine, especially with the holidays coming up and all your puppies. Yes, the Uno. Thank you, Janet. Yes, that's what it's called. So it's the Uno pattern by Kaiko Creates. Oh, that's nice, the custom orders. I have not done custom in a really long time. I'll make family some things, but they know that I sew it on my own pace. Um, I get really stressed with custom orders. Lately, like, what I do is I've just been, I sell bags that I like, and then I put them up for sale, and if they sell, great. If not, then I usually give them away to like family, friends, or like I said, I did a craft fair this weekend at my church that I grew up going to. Alright, so I got my 2 bunny ears. So now this is where I need to read the directions. And what's nice is that on the bottom of the panel, the directions are printed. All right, so I already did the ears. And now I am going to have to attach the ears on with the cover. All right, layer the padding, back ear, clip the curves. All right, already did that. So now I'm gonna cut out the book cover and the first page, and then I'll come back to the directions to figure out. So basically the ears are gonna get pinned between those first pages. So this is the cover, and I'm just gonna cut along the red lines. And then what will happen is, though I'm cutting in the red lines, it's going to, that white should end up getting caught up in the seam allowance, so you don't see it once the book is all sewed together. Oh, cool, Charlene. Where did you get them? Did you get them from like a quilt store? I have never made one. This is from the subscription from Cotton Cuts. They have it where you could like buy it a one-time thing, like every 3 months or a monthly. So I signed up because I have a couple baby showers I'm going to in February, and I thought it would be really cool as part of like the baby shower gift. But it's my first time doing it, so I am learning. Hey, Meg. Witch niece. Hi, Addie. Hi, Winter. Hi, Willow. Oh, see, yeah, Kim, exactly, yeah. Usually people I know as well. And even that, I've really cut back on what I've done customs, because sometimes, like, it just drains me so much, and I really want sewing to be stuff that, like, you know, makes me happy and that I'm excited to be working on. my sister is a social worker, and she works in a nursing home, and I am a teacher, so I always tell her, like, don't you, it's good that you work in a nursing home because you are not meant to work with kids. My nieces call me every night for help for homework because my sister is terrible at explaining the work to them. That's funny. So this is going to be the cover. So the title of this book is I Love You, Honey Bunny. And then the author is Sandra, I think it's Masamin. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. But she is the one that does all the books for Cotton Cuts. So that's what that is going to look like. And then when we attach those bunny ears, they'll flop up. I'm going to cut out the second page that I need as well. And I'm just making sure that I fold it because my luck, I'll like try to cut it and end up slicing through a page. So I want to make sure I'm not overlapping my fabric or anything. Oh, that sounds really cute, Charlene. I'll have to look. I didn't even realize, like, I don't know. I've seen fabric baby books before, but I just always assumed that they were, like, bought in a store. Like, I don't know why I never thought about, like, them being made in a quilting shop. So I'm definitely going to have to look when I go to other shops because this is fun. And I think it's cool, like the handmade gifts. I was mentioning earlier when I first went live before it messed up. So if you're just on this now, there's a second video that where I had frozen. I always give my friends a crocheted baby blanket. My grandma crochets them. So everyone I have given one to so far has really appreciated it. And many of my friends don't have family members that crochet or sew, so it's been pretty special to them. All right. Now let me check these instructions again because I know I need to put the batting, but I also need to put in the ears. Okay, so I need to align them, it said, with the back. So this is the back. And the right side's facing up. So I think, yeah, so when they, yeah, I want them in like that, facing each other. Sometimes I literally have to like move it so I can get a like to make sure that it will look correct. All right, and before I clip them, Cotton Cuts has added like the crinkle paper, so I'm going to actually cut 2 little strips, and I think sneak them into each ear. And what's cool is they give you ribbons, they give you the crinkle paper, and all of that is kind of like up to you if you want to use them or how you want to use them. So oh yeah, that would be smart, Charlene. I don't have, I need to get some tags made. I don't have any with like So Majestic, or I feel like for personal gifts, like maybe I should get like Made by Amber or something like that. All right, and I'm just where the opening is on the bottom, I'm just sliding this in, and it's going in pretty easy, so that's nice. And then I figure I'll put the rest, like, maybe in a couple of the pages or whatnot. I don't know if Cotton Cuts has any ambassadors for their cuddle books that specifically like film content for them. But I know Kim, the owner, did a live where she talks about them. All right, and I'm lining up where the little hash mark was on the ear, so it's overhanging, so that way it gets caught in the seam allowance. Oh, you know what? Maybe. Now I'm wondering if maybe not, because then that pink will be. I have to look at the picture. Alright, so it does show. I wasn't sure if you're supposed to see the pink or not, and it does show like you don't see brown below the pink, so I am right about overhanging the edge. I also think that looks better in my brain too, but I guess that's the other nice thing is you can just do your personal preference too. And like I mentioned, this is my first time, so the second book I'm sure will be a little bit smoother because I'm reading the instructions and doing this all online. Oh my gosh, Minky on the tails. You know what, Charlene? That's actually a really, really good idea. Do I have white Minky? I have like, what's it called? Like a fleece from Joann's. Let me see. All right, let me check the next instruction. Now I'm gonna grab, that's a great idea. Okay, right side together. All right, they put the opening on the bottom, and they want the batting to be the same size. So actually, let me see. I actually have this white like faux Sherpa from Joann's. I wonder, it's polyester. I think if I cut the circle and stitched it on, that once it's stitched, I don't think it will fray. I just don't want like my only worry is like I don't want a baby like pulling this and eating it. Let me see. How funny is this? Is the little cap that's supposed to go on right here where my thread is, and it's almost the exact size of the tail. So I'm totally going to use Charlene's idea, and I'm tracing this, and I am going to stitch it. This is why I love not just going live, but also going to sewing conventions and taking classes, because everybody is just so creative and shares their ideas. It's like my favorite part is just like meeting people and seeing what everybody makes or decides to do. So I'm just cutting roughly around it, and then I'm going to cut it more precisely. And actually I am going to base these ears into place, so that way when I'm putting the tail on, it doesn't accidentally move on me either. I'm so excited about this. Do I have Heat and Bond? In my closet behind me, I might. Let me check. Because that would be smart too. I don't think I've ever used Heat and Bond. I think I bought it when I was first like learning to sew. Cut these and then I'm gonna check my closet. I'm even more excited about this now. I wonder if it would have been better if I pressed it to one side first and then, I don't know, because I don't even know how to use Heat and Bond. I have to read the instructions. I was wondering if maybe I should have pressed it, if you can press it on one side first and then the other. Yeah, Charlie, that's what I was just wondering. Well, it wouldn't be me if I wasn't making it more difficult for myself. All right, let's see. All right, I definitely have some. Yeah, I'm moving the chair, got stuck, and I'm plugging in the iron. All right. Paper liner up. That's what. So that's what you're talking about with the. If I were to iron it with the paper first. All right. Well, they're pre-cut. Let's see. I hope it works. I literally bought this when I first started sewing, when I had no clue what I needed. So it's probably like 6 years old. And I'm just tracing the same circular shape right now. I think I have a Teflon sheet because I don't really use Teflon sheets so much when I'm interfacing like fabrics, but I used it a lot when I do like HTV vinyl and like Cricut crafts and such. So I'm pretty sure I have one close by. And I just realized I'm using my fabric scissors to cut this, but oh well. I bought some brand new fabric scissors, so. So I got my Teflon sheet. This is pretty warm, so I'm gonna do the minky first in case it, like this. This little iron is so convenient. It fits over it perfect. I bought myself one of the fancy ones that like lift up, but I haven't even taken it out of the box to use it yet. Alright, I'm just pulling off like anything that's not caught by the heat and bond, like all the fuzzies. Just I'd rather it come off now than later. Alright. And then, oh, this is so cool. So I always read about like heat and bond with applique and stuff for quilting. And I was like, sounds interesting. But never actually tried it. So this is kind of expiring. Maybe I'll actually do some more applique type stuff. Alright. And that like stuck very, very quick. So alright. Now I'm just trying to peel the paper. And now I also know for next time that I can like cut through this paper, so I can cut the shape out afterwards. There we go. And what's nice is that blue marker I was using is water soluble, so if any of it shows, I can just take some water and it will fade away without any trouble. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Charlene, this is such a good idea. I'm so glad you recommended it. Do think I need to put it just a little bit longer. I almost wonder if maybe I should press it from the back side because the fluffiness is, I think it's making it a little bit hard for the heat to go through. So I'm gonna press it from this side for a few seconds and then flip it over. Oh, that's a good idea. I was able to catch it finally on the edge with my nail. I've also taken what is it called? Not the, why can't I think of the freaking name of this? You know, stiletto. Thank you. I've also taken the stiletto to help with papery things too that I haven't been able to catch. Like double-sided tape, I use my stiletto a lot with that. Yeah, I think it might press better from this side because the heat, I think, will go through better. Let's see. It still wants to like peel up a little bit. Am I supposed to let it cool? Let me read the directions. Okay, yeah, it does say from the back. Let me press again, put some muscle. It said 8 seconds, so let's see. It's like mostly stuck, but one of them is a little, this one is a little bit loose still. But I think once I sew it too, it will really be. Yeah, I think I'm going to stitch around in the circle, which will, on the edge to kind of hold it all together. It's so cute. like a big kid with the textures. I'm like, oh, I want to touch it. All right, and so I'm just going to top stitch around the edge in a circle just to give it a little bit more security. And what's nice is because it's that faux Sherpa, it will puff up, and I think it's going to hide all the stitches as well. Just making sure I trim that really low, and I think it's going to blend in perfectly. Yay! Charlene, I'm so glad you were able to join the live. I would never have thought to do this, and I totally would have just sewed it instead of the heat and bond. But it's so cute, and now it's fluffing up, like I can just rub it. Oh, that's so perfect. I'm going to top stitch the other one. And I'm so grateful for all the sewists who share their knowledge. It's such a great community to be a part of. I feel like everybody, for the most part, shares their tips and tricks. I think there's not very many people that gatekeep what they do. It was nice because this weekend at the craft fair, because it was at the church, it's the Catholic church I grew up going to, so there's so many people there that know, my family's lived in the same town for over 100 years. But it was really cool to see all the people, especially the older ladies, and we were chatting about sewing and crocheting and just some of the arts that are that had started to die. I do think there's been a huge revival during COVID. But it was nice. The ladies were it's good to see younger people doing it. So that made me feel really good. Yeah, exactly. Sharing the wealth of knowledge, right? That's how we allow the art to continue. Yay! So now I got 2 fluffy bunny tails. Alright, so now I need to, that's still kind of hot. I need to cut out another piece of the batting. And I think, honestly, what I think I'm going to do is what I did for the ears. I'm just going to cut it. Oh man, I was hoping it would be at the same width, but it's not. Yeah, thanks. This is such a good idea. Yeah, there's different books. It said that you could pick. I thought I had to double check what selection. They have a selection that's like Cotton Cuts Pick for Me, or choose each month. I thought I did the choose one. But they sent me this bunny one, and I'm so excited that they did. I think it worked out great. This would probably be a little bit easier with a rotary cutter and my large mat, but I wanted to do it on camera. So I'm just cutting, and I'm cutting it wider than the book, and I'll just trim it down afterwards. This is actually like a twin size batting, but I have this genius idea that I'm going to hand quilt a quilt, which I don't know why I hate hand sewing, but I thought like the big stitches would look so nice. So this is kind of like what's left over from what I had needed for that quilt, which I've only stitched like one block of so far. All right, so now I have the front cover. I'm pretty sure I put the next page just right sides together. Let me double check again. Yes. Okay, so now here's the thing though. So this is the page 1 and 10, putting them right sides together. But they also, Common Cuts also gives you ribbon. And so now I need to figure out if I want to, I have these ribbons here where you can fold them and put them in the seam allowance. So there's this, that's one, let me count. One. So there's 3 pages and 6 ribbons. So I think what I'm gonna do is tuck them like right sides facing in, or like facing in, so that way when it's turned they will be folded out. And I'm going to do them so that way it is, this should be the front page, the first page, and then a ribbon over here on the bottom, which, if I'm figuring this out correctly, should be the back. And I hope that's the case. I think that's how it will be. And my intention is that hopefully the ribbons won't like overlap, that they'll be evenly or mostly evenly aligned. But we'll see. Okay, and so I'm just adding some clips to kind of hold this, because this is really, it is really fluffy. Between the ears, I did the extra thick batting. So, and then there's the center mark of the book here. There's like a white line. I'm just folding it back to make sure that I am matching up my centers at least. And what's great about this is that I can see the white border, so that way I can make sure that I am catching everything in my seam allowance. And I'm going to leave my turning hole in the bottom of the book. It recommended the bottom left-hand side, so that is where I'm going to leave a turning hole. And what I'm doing is, it recommends 1/4 of an inch. I'm doing kind of between 1/4 and 3/8. And that's just because it's so fluffy. I want to make sure that I am catching everything. And I'm using just a regular presser foot. I do have a walking foot, which might be better for this. I don't really know. I'm gonna have to try it before I attempt to use it. Like, try it on some scraps to see first, because I bought it more recently, so I haven't really used it. And it said the cover is a little bit wider than the pages that are going to go inside. So when this all turns, the pages should fit in without any trouble. So much easier going the long way than it was just on the short way. I think it's a little bit easier because I can, the fabric isn't really stretching this way. I can kind of just straighten it all out. And I was just making sure that I wasn't catching the top of that ribbon, so that way when I turn it, it turns completely and only the edge is open, or only the edge, I mean, is caught. And in the instructions, it says after you're turning it that it's to like ladder stitch it closed. So I'll probably do that all at the end, just so we can do it all at once. Normally, like in bag making, I just stitch it, but I think or like stitch it on the machine with a back stitch. But I think for the book, I want it to actually look really clean and not see the stitch. And I'm also really happy that I'm keeping the batting in the seam allowance. Like I said, that way if it gets washed or whatnot, it's not going to get bunched up in a ball. So I just backstitched there. It is kind of a small, like maybe like a 3-inch opening. I maybe should have left it a little bit bigger. We'll see how it goes. I wasn't quite sure. Yeah, Charlene, leave an opening, right? Yeah, I left a very small one. I think it's enough though. Because it's so soft, I think it's going to be fine to turn it. In my head, I was thinking I hate hand stitching, so I want like the smallest opening possible. And so I'm just trimming down the extra in the seam allowance, especially where it really hangs over. I feel like it's like sticking to everything like little fuzzies. All right. I am going to clip my corners a tiny bit. Oh, this one shifted. I really hope that top of this ribbon is not caught into the book. We'll find out, but I hope not. And I'm just cutting on a diagonal so that way hopefully the corners poke out easier. But just being extra careful that I'm not cutting my stitches. I can glue it shut. That is a great idea. Do you use like fabric glue or a specific type that you recommend, Charlene? All right, so now I'm gonna turn it all through. And it's a tiny opening. Right now it's a little thick because of the part that I'm pulling through has the ears. But I honestly think once I really get this through, it's, oh, perfect. Yeah, so even though I only left like a 3-inch turning hole, it's coming through easy. And that's just because it's quilts cotton. The batting is fluffy, but it's poly, it squishes. So I'm grateful that this time I put the batting on the correct side so I don't have to unpick everything. I'm just reaching through right now. I can feel the ribbon. There we go. I don't know if you can see. There is like the tiniest, like one stitch caught the very top of this purple ribbon. So what I'm gonna do is turn it wrong side out. Oh, you know what? Is that where the turning hole? Oh, wait, so where it caught was exactly where the turning hole is. So I was worried that it was going to, if I clipped it, it was going to be a problem. But it's not, because it's right at the end. So I'm just going to take my seam ripper and just gently remove that one little stitch. Because when I seal this up, I can make sure that where it's backstitched is actually stays backstitched and doesn't come apart. Perfect. Yay! Alright, and hopefully, oh man, did it do it again? I guess I did catch it. Oh, alright. Well, where it is, what's happening is I caught the top of the ribbon in the top right here. So and it's where the opening is. So I'm only gonna I'm gonna pick out like maybe like 10 stitches. It should be enough to get it out of the top seam. And that's just because there's 6 ribbons and I was trying to like put them as close to the top. I should have given myself a little bit more wiggle room, but I didn't. But this is an easy, like I said, it's an easy enough fix because it's right on the end where the opening is. There we go. So you can see what happened is this shifted up. So I'm just going to make sure it stays shifted down right now and re-stitch that closed. I'm actually gonna fold it down into itself so it doesn't get caught in that seam. And I'm gonna work my way from the opposite where I just clipped it, just so I can really feel that it's not catching. I was so cautious on the other ribbon that this one I was not. Much better. So now let me trim this. Now it should, I'm almost positive I didn't re-catch it, so hopefully not. So I think for like the next pages they're going to be more into the middle, so that shouldn't be a problem. It's just because it was the very first, there we go, and very last. Excellent. So now you can see I just went back through And what had happened is this very top part got caught in that seam. So now it's all better. And I'm going to take my chopstick and just reach in and make sure that I'm poking out all these corners. I'm not going to hand sew them yet. I'm going to wait till the whole book is together and then just do all the sewing, or like Charlene said, I might get some fabric glue and glue it closed. So that way I don't have to worry about that. But I don't want to close up anything until I know everything looks good. I do the same thing with bags. A lot of times people recommend closing up the turning hole in the pocket and then top stitching. I always top stitch first and then close up the hole, because sometimes I find that I need to like reach back inside or change things. So oh my gosh, it's so cute. How awesome is this? Okay, so this is going to be the cover. And because the ears are on the back, that when you open it up, there's going to be more pages in it. This is actually the last page here in my right hand. But the ears match up with the bunny every single time. Alright. Alright, so I'm actually going to stop there for tonight. I am super excited with how this looks. I'm going to make sure I poke everything out. Oh, thanks, Arnetta. But next Tuesday, I'm going to do all the rest of the pages on the inside and put the whole rest of the book together. There's 2 more pages. This one took a little while because, like I said, this is my first time. We had the ears, the ribbon, made a couple mistakes. The video froze. So thank you guys so much, especially if you were on from the very beginning and had to re-find me once it froze. I know it's been a few weeks, so I'm happy to be back on. I plan on being live next Tuesday, and I'll put on my social media. I will be live in the chat on Saturday when my video premieres. I gotta double check. Like I said, it's either 1 or 2 o'clock. I want to say it's 2 o'clock Eastern. But once I double check, I will let you know and drop all the links. So thank you so much, guys. I hope you're doing well. I hope you have a great week. Thank you again for chatting with me, and hopefully I'll see you this weekend or next week. Night. Bye.